Hey everyone and welcome today. We're diving into a mental model that could totally flip the script on how you manage your money. It comes from former poker champ Annie Duke, and it's called Thinking in Bates.
Let's jump right in. So here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll talk about a super common problem every single investor runs into. Then, we'll introduce a really cool tool to help you see things differently. After that, we'll unmask the mental traps that mess with our success. And we'll wrap up with 2 solid strategies you can use to upgrade your decision-making for good. All right, first up, a situation I know we've all been in. It's that incredibly frustrating moment when you've done all the research, you've followed a great process, and you still lose money. Seriously, think about it for a second. Have you ever spent weeks researching a stock, felt totally confident, and then just watched it crater? Or maybe you took a flyer on a meme stock just for fun, and it actually somehow made you money? Yeah, that confusion, that's the heart of what we're talking about today. Our brains just love a simple story. Good decision leads to a good outcome. Bad decision, bad outcome. But Annie Duke argues that this is a really dangerous mental shortcut. The real world, and especially the financial markets, is packed with luck, randomness, and stuff we just can't know. So the big question is, what's a better way to think about all this? And that better way is exactly what we're getting into now. Let's talk about the core idea of this whole framework, the outcome tree. This is just a brilliant way to visualize how your decisions really work. So an outcome tree shows that any single choice you make, that's the trunk of the tree. It doesn't lead to just one guaranteed future. Nope. Instead, it branches out into a whole range of possible futures, and each one of those branches has a different probability of happening. This shifts your thinking from, am I right, to what are the odds? To really nail this down, let's use a high-stakes, real-world example from Duke's book. Picture this. It's Super Bowl 2015. The Seattle Seahawks are on the 1-yard line, just seconds away from winning it all. Coach Pete Carroll has to make the call of a lifetime. He calls a pass play. Now, we all know what happened next. A jaw-dropping interception. They lost the Super Bowl. The entire world called it the worst play call in football history. But look at this slide. That interception, it was just one branch on the tree. A touchdown was also a very real possibility. And this is the absolute key. A bad outcome doesn't automatically mean it was a bad decision. Okay, so if it's that straightforward, why is it so hard for us to see it that way? Well, it's because of 2 cognitive biases that are basically the supervillains of your investment portfolio. Let's unmask them. The first villain is called resulting. This is exactly what happened to Pete Carroll. It's when we judge the quality of a decision based only on how it turned out. The second one is hindsight bias. You know this one. It's the I knew it all along effect. After the interception, everyone was an expert saying a pass was obviously the wrong move. These 2 traps together make it pretty much impossible to learn the right lessons from our financial wins and losses. And this quote from Annie Duke just nails the danger here. She says that with hindsight bias, you're basically taking an axe and chopping off all the other branches on the tree, all the other futures that could have happened. You completely forget that a good outcome was also on the table, which totally destroys your ability to analyze whether the decision itself was sound in the first place. So how do we fight back against these mental villains? Well, the first strategy is simple. Don't go alone. It's all about creating your own financial buddy system. Duke calls this a learning pod. And let's be super clear. This is not your typical investment club where people just complain about their losses or brag about their wins. No, this is a truth-seeking alliance. The only goal is to get an honest, objective look at the process behind your decisions, which helps everybody in the group see past their own biases. And there's even a system for how this pod should work called kudos. The C is for communism, and this just means all the data and research is shared openly, like it's community property. U is for universalism. You judge the idea, not the person who said it. D is for disinterestedness. Everyone's on the lookout for hidden agendas or conflicts of interest. And finally, OS is for organized skepticism. It means that disagreements and tough questions aren't just tolerated, they're actually encouraged. It's a fantastic rule book for keeping each other honest. Okay, so a learning pod is great, but what about those moments when you have to make a call by yourself? Well, the second strategy is to build a little decision council right inside your own head. The secret? You gotta learn to travel through time. You know that Jerry Seinfeld bit about Night Jerry who stays up super late and leaves poor Morning Jerry to deal with the consequences? It's kind of like that. Before you make a big financial move, you need to consult your past self. What did I learn from the last time I was in a situation like this? But maybe even more important, ask your future self. Hey, future me, how is this decision to buy or sell going to affect us in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years down the road? And you can run two really powerful thought experiments. First, a premortem. You imagine your investment has already failed, like it's been a total disaster. Then you work backward to figure out all the possible reasons why. The other one is backcasting. You imagine it was a massive success, a home run. Then you work backward to figure out what steps and conditions made that happen. Doing both of these prepares you for a way wider range of outcomes. So let's bring all this home. What are the big takeaways for your financial journey? Number one, break the link between your decisions and their outcomes. Judge your process, not just the final score. Number two, think with the outcome tree. The future isn't one single point. It's a range of possibilities. Number three, fight your own biases by getting a truth-seeking group together. And finally, always give your future self a vote when you're making big decisions. At the end of the day, every financial move you make, every buy, every sell, every hold, is a bet on a particular version of the future. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's the very next bet you're going to make? Not on a stock or a fund, but a bet on improving your decision-making process. Because a good process, well, that's the surest bet you can possibly make on your own success.